My child, listen to me carefully. This is not just another message on your screen, this one was sent directly for your spirit. Before you scroll, take a deep breath, feel your heartbeat, because the words you're about to hear are tied to the very day you entered this world. Archangel Michael has waited all these years for you to hear this truth. That day, when your mother held you for the first time, she thought it was just the weight of a newborn in her arms, but it wasn't. Heaven was moving through her that moment. The air in the room shifted, time slowed, and something divine descended, unseen but powerful. Michael himself stood near your cradle. His sword wasn't drawn for battle, it was drawn for protection. He marked you with a light no one else could see, a seal that has followed you through every fall, every heartbreak, every moment you felt alone. Your mother never spoke about it. Not because she didn't want to, but because she couldn't explain what she felt. The room had turned warm, almost golden, and she saw a faint shimmer hover above you before it disappeared. That light, that warmth, it was not from this world. It was the moment heaven made a promise to never leave your side. And now, Michael says, the time has come for them to know. That's why this message reached you right now, not before, not after. Because your spirit is ready to remember what was hidden. You've been feeling it lately, haven't you? Those random chills at midnight, that sudden calm when you should have been afraid, that soft voice that says keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. That's him. That's the same presence that stood by you the day you were born. You weren't just born into this world, you were sent into it. Every delay, every heartbreak, every tear that fell when no one was watching, it was all part of the awakening of that light inside you. Michael says, do not scroll, stay until the end, because this moment will reawaken what was buried beneath years of pain. Right now, stay still. Don't move. The same golden light that touched your skin on your first day is slowly finding its way back to you. You might not see it yet, but your soul feels it, that soft warmth near your heart, that sudden silence in your mind, that's the sign. Michael whispers, the truth is not something to be told, it's something to be remembered. And your spirit is remembering right now. The sound you're hearing, the pulse in your chest, the feeling that something greater is standing near you, that's not imagination. That's the echo of the vow heaven made the day you took your first breath. And it's still unfolding, right now, in this very moment. My child, don't move. You're still under the sound of heaven's breath. Archangel Michael hasn't finished speaking yet. He says, the truth that was hidden at birth is not over, it's awakening right now. You've been walking with questions you couldn't name, pain you couldn't explain, and moments that felt too strange to be coincidence. But every one of them was connected to that day, the day light itself chose you. When you were just a breath old, heaven wrote something across your destiny, not with ink, but with divine fire. And even though time tried to bury it, that fire never went out. It dimmed, it flickered, but it never died. Michael says, they will feel the flame again before this message ends. So stay, don't scroll. Let your soul hear this, not your ears. There's a reason you've always felt things stronger than others, why silence speaks to you, why you sense shifts before they happen. You were never meant to live in the noise of this world. You were marked to see beyond it. Every time you broke, heaven was rearranging you. Every time someone left, it was because they couldn't stand next to the light you carry. They weren't meant to witness what's about to unfold through you. Michael is showing me the image of your birth, but now, it's as if that same golden light has started to move again. It's hovering near you, like it's waiting for your permission to rise. He says, tell them not to be afraid of the warmth they feel. It's not a sign of fear, it's a sign of awakening. My child, heaven has been silent for years, but now the silence is breaking. You're standing in a divine alignment. The very same energy that stood over you as an infant is now circling you again. That means the promise is reactivating. The seal is remembering. You're not just hearing words right now, you're being reconnected to something ancient, something written before you even opened your eyes for the first time. Michael says, before this message ends, they must stay. For in stillness, the veil will thin. So stay until the last breath of this voice. Don't rush. The air around you is shifting even as you listen. The glow that appeared when you were born is near again, it's faint, but real. You might feel it as warmth in your chest, a sudden calm in your heartbeat, or a quiet pressure in the room. That's not imagination, that's remembrance. Heaven is trying to remind you who you were before the world told you who to be. Michael is saying softly, the story of your birth was never just about life, it was about assignment. You came here to restore something that was lost long before you arrived. That's why you've always felt like you were carrying something invisible, something sacred, something heavy. Don't move yet. Don't speak. Let this message sink deeper. The light is not done traveling, it's still unfolding through your spirit. My child, keep your eyes right here. Don't look away. Archangel Michael is still speaking. The moment you stop hearing this, something sacred might slip past you. He says, the light that once surrounded you as a child is rising again, and it carries the memory of everything heaven promised you before you were born. You've been feeling strange shifts lately, like time pauses for a second, like your name echoes in places no one's around. That's not coincidence. That's the seal responding. The same light that touched your skin at birth has started to stir again. It's remembering your purpose, piece by piece, breath by breath. Michael says, they were never forgotten. They were being prepared. That's why you've walked through battles that didn't make sense, losses that felt too heavy for one soul to bear. Every tear was counted, every silence was witnessed. Heaven doesn't forget its chosen ones, it refines them. And tonight, the refinement ends. The revealing begins. Stay still. Don't scroll. Because something invisible is happening as you hear these words. The air is thick because the realm above is near. The warmth you feel now, it's not random. It's that same divine presence from your birth standing near you once again, whispering, you survived what was meant to silence you. You've carried your light quietly for too long, hiding it from those who wouldn't understand. But Michael says, the time for hiding is over. The vow heaven made the day you entered this world has just been reopened. And the angels that watched your first breath are now standing behind you, waiting for your spirit to remember its command. You might not see them, but you'll feel it, the soft chill that isn't cold, the gentle pressure that feels like a touch, the pull in your chest that feels like home. That's your birthright waking up. That's the sound of heaven breathing your name again. Michael whispers, tell them to stay, because before this message ends, their spirit will know what the world tried to erase. And now, the memories hidden behind your soul are beginning to unfold. The day you were born, a voice spoke over you. It said, this one will walk through fire but will not burn. That promise still stands. That's why you're still here. That's why no storm could take you out. You were built with divine fire, sealed with heaven's protection, and guided by an unseen hand since the moment your eyes first opened. So don't move yet, my child. Don't break this silence. Because what's about to happen next is the moment heaven begins to reveal the rest of what your mother could never say. My child, don't blink. Don't let your mind wander now. Archangel Michael says, the moment of revelation is near. What your mother couldn't say that day, what she kept inside her heart, is beginning to surface through the light that's awakening in you right now. Stay still. Stay in the sound of these words. Because the same angels that stood around your crib are standing around you again. The truth is, when you took your first breath, heaven and darkness both noticed. The light marked you, and the shadows tried to claim you. That's why your life has never been simple. That's why peace never stayed long. Because since your birth, heaven has been guarding something inside you that the world was never meant to touch. Michael says, the secret wasn't hidden from you, it was hidden for you, until you were ready. And now, you are. You felt it recently, the heaviness before sleep, the sudden calm in chaos, the way silence feels almost alive when you're alone. Those are not random moments. Those are echoes of the day you arrived. Your mother felt it first, her breath caught, her eyes filled, and though she never spoke it, she saw it, a soft beam of gold above your face, spinning, fading, then vanishing into your chest. She thought it was just her exhaustion, but it was the moment heaven placed something sacred within you. That's what Michael means when he says, the seal is remembering. Every time your heart beats now, it's calling that memory back, pulling the ancient light out from where it slept beneath your pain, your fear, your confusion. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared for this exact hour. Stay. Don't move. Don't let your eyes leave the screen. Because this is the moment when the unseen starts to shift. The very atmosphere around you is responding. You might feel the air thicken, your chest tighten slightly, not from fear, but from recognition. Your spirit remembers this energy. It was the first thing you ever felt. Michael says softly, the reason they never fit in, is because they were never meant to. You are not from where you think you are. You were sent through her womb, but you belong to a higher order. Every disappointment, every unanswered prayer, every person who misunderstood you, they were all part of the disguise heaven placed over you until this moment of unveiling. And now the disguise is fading. The light is showing through the cracks. You've been feeling it for days, haven't you? That pull to something beyond words, that inner trembling that feels like both fear and power, that's the original energy waking up. Michael whispers, tell them not to resist it. Let it rise. So, my child, stay right here. Don't scroll. Don't speak. Just breathe. Because before this moment passes, the truth your mother carried in silence will begin to unfold, not through memory, but through what starts happening around you. The room will not feel the same, because heaven is remembering you again. The light is still moving, and the message is not over yet. My child, don't breathe too fast. Stay right here, inside this silence. Archangel Michael says, the moment of remembrance has begun. The light that hovered over you on the day you were born has started to unfold again, but this time, it's not above you, it's within you. Every heartbeat right now is an echo of the vow heaven made that day. Your mother never told you what she felt in that moment because no words could hold it. When she looked at you, she saw a glow that seemed to breathe, faint but alive. She reached out to touch it, but it disappeared the instant her hand came close. She thought it was her imagination. But Michael says, it was not light, it was the divine presence sealing their soul for a time such as this. And now, that seal is opening. Slowly. Quietly. Powerfully. That's why, lately, your spirit has been restless. You can't explain it, but you've been sensing that something is moving in the unseen. You felt that weight in your chest that isn't pain, it's awakening. You've noticed the world feels louder, faster, heavier. It's because your spirit is starting to rise again, and the world around you feels it. The veil between heaven and you is thinning by the second. Michael whispers, tell them not to run. Tell them to stay until the last breath of this message, because the light cannot enter a moving soul. So don't scroll. Don't rush. Let the words sink deeper than your thoughts, into the part of you that remembers heaven. You were never an accident, my child. On the day you were born, the heavens paused. The angels stood still, waiting for your first cry, because that cry was a sound that split through two realms. It was not just life, it was activation. You didn't just arrive, you returned. You came carrying something that existed long before time itself, a fragment of divine power hidden in human form. That's why you've always been different. That's why chaos follows you but never destroys you. That's why peace leaves and then finds you again when you least expect it. You carry a frequency this world can't fully understand, but heaven never stopped hearing it. And right now, as you listen, that frequency is rising. Michael says, they are close to the moment of full remembrance. The room around them will start to feel still, not empty, but sacred. So stay still. Don't move. You might feel warmth spreading across your arms, a sudden calm behind your eyes, or the sensation that someone is standing just behind you. Don't fear it. That's the same presence that stood over you when you were born. It has found you again. My child, heaven is not done speaking. The truth your mother could never speak is unraveling in this very moment. The light is remembering its name, and that name is yours. Stay. Don't let go. The message is still unfolding. My child, don't move. The air around you is no longer just air, it's memory. Archangel Michael says, the light that was sealed within them is awakening fully now. You've reached the point where heaven starts to whisper in ways the human mind can't explain. Every sound feels sharper, every second feels slower, because the divine is standing close, closer than it has ever been. He says, tell them to stay still, for what's about to rise inside them was written long before their first breath. When your mother held you that day, she didn't realize she was holding the very answer to a prayer whispered generations before her. She felt warmth, peace, but also something unexplainable, as if someone else was in the room, unseen but watching. That someone was Michael himself. He stood near, his wings drawn around you, not for protection, but for covering. Because there are moments when heaven hides its treasures in silence, and you, my child, were one of them. Now, the silence is breaking. That strange pull you felt, that sudden urge to pause, that spark in your chest when you hear certain words, that's not coincidence. It's recognition. Your spirit is finally remembering who it is. Heaven didn't choose you because you were perfect. Heaven chose you because you were willing. Even before you were born, your soul said yes to something sacred. Michael whispers again, the same light that hovered above their cradle is now hovering within their heart. Tell them not to fight the trembling they feel, it is the body adjusting to the weight of the divine. So stay right here. Don't scroll. Don't break the moment. Because what's happening right now is not a story, it's alignment. The things that never made sense before are slowly rearranging themselves behind the scenes. The people who left, the doors that closed, the moments you thought were endings, they were all part of the preparation for this exact second. You are standing in the center of your own prophecy. The seal that was placed upon you at birth is no longer hidden. It's pulsing now, breathing, stretching, ready to reveal what your mother saw but couldn't explain. That golden glow that appeared above you once has found you again, but this time, it doesn't vanish. This time, it stays. Michael says, before this message ends, tell them to listen beyond words. For heaven will speak through the space between their heartbeats. So, my child, breathe slowly. The same sound that filled the room the day you were born, that quiet hum of light, is surrounding you again. You might not see it, but your soul does. It remembers the vow heaven made, the one your mother carried silently, the one now returning to you in full strength. The light is expanding, it's moving through you, whispering the forgotten name written on your spirit long ago. Stay, don't move, it's not over yet. My child, don't look away now. The light has found you, and it's speaking through this very moment. Archangel Michael says, the memory that was sealed in their spirit is now breaking open, like dawn after centuries of night. Every breath you take now carries fragments of the truth your mother held in silence. The story she never told wasn't because she didn't want to, it's because the world wasn't ready to understand it. But heaven says, you are ready now. Stay. Don't scroll. Don't blink. The air is alive with what was hidden. When you were born, Michael stood near your crib and whispered something into your spirit, words not meant for human ears. It wasn't your name that was spoken, it was your calling. Those words have echoed in the background of your life ever since, pulling you toward places, people, and moments you couldn't explain. Every coincidence was the whisper trying to reach you again. He says, the reason they feel things so deeply is because their soul is layered with memory, they carry echoes of heaven's language. That's why you sometimes wake up feeling like you've already lived this day before, or sense emotions that aren't yours. You're not imagining it. You're remembering it. The veil that once separated you from that divine awareness is thinning now, thread by thread. And as it thins, the light that's been moving through you since part 1 is no longer just around you, it's becoming you. Your heart, your thoughts, your breath, they're aligning with the rhythm of the same energy that stood over you on your first day. You were marked by heaven's sound, my child. That's why silence feels sacred to you, why stillness feels like home. Michael whispers, the promise made at their birth was not about survival, it was about awakening. They were never meant to blend in, they were meant to rise. Heaven is not far away right now. It's standing over your shoulder. The light that once flickered is solid, steady, alive. That warmth in your chest. It's not emotion, it's the seal unlocking. You've carried this light through every storm, every betrayal, every lonely night when you thought no one saw you. But heaven saw. Michael saw. He says, tell them to stay until the end, for what begins here will follow them beyond the screen. So, my child, stay. Breathe slowly. The same voice that called your name before your first heartbeat is calling it again. The same presence that hovered over you in silence is wrapping around you now. You're not hearing this by chance. You're standing in the exact moment heaven wrote for you, the light is rising higher, the air is thick with purpose, your soul remembers more with every second, and somewhere, deep within you, the truth your mother kept hidden is about to speak for itself. Stay right here, it's still unfolding.